Hello, this is Jo from Maths Tutor Me. Today we're doing some probability and we're going to learn about complementary events. Now when we first started this topic, we learned about the probability scale and how probabilities are between 0 and 1. So that means that if you added together all the probabilities that could happen in an event, like rolling a dice, then all the probabilities need to add together to give 1. Or as a percentage, 100%. So if that's true, if we know the probability of one thing happening, if we know the probability that rolling a 6 on a dice is a 1 in 6 chance, then to find the complementary event is not rolling a 6. It's finding the probability of everything else. So to do that, we would start with 1, which is the total, and take away the probability of the event happening. So this bit here, probability of E with a dash, that says probability of event not occurring is equal to 1 minus the probability that the event does occur. Okay, I'm going to be showing you how to use that formula in just a minute. So probabilities can be written as fractions, decimals, and percentages, and we're going to be using all three of those types today. So let me show you how to use the formula and the type of questions that we're going to be doing today. Now this first question is not using the formula, it's a word answer that we're expecting here. So it says, what is the complementary event of getting a red light at the next traffic light? Well, the complementary event means to not get a red light. Okay, so I don't want you to say green or yellow. Okay, that's true, it would be either green or yellow. But it's easy just to say not getting a red light would be the complement of getting a red light. Okay, in question 2 we're going to find the probability of the complementary event in each case. So we have the probability that a cup will break is 4%. So the complement of that, of it not breaking, so the probability that it will not break is going to be equal to, using this formula, 1 minus, well actually not 1, sorry, we're doing percentages. We're going to have to do 100 minus the probability that it will break, which is 4%. So that's going to be 96%. So we use 1 if we have a fraction or a decimal, which we're going to have over here. But if we have percentages, we have to use 100% for our starting amount. B, probability I will have toast for breakfast is 32%. So probability that there will be no toast for breakfast, again it's a percentage, so we're going to start with 100% and take off the 32, which is equal to 68%. So there's a 68% chance that I will not have toast for breakfast. C, the probability that it will rain today is 0.85. Okay, so we have a decimal. So the probability that it will rain is going to be 1 minus 0.85. Okay, so you can always use your calculator. I have the calculator here. You can always use the calculator to type these things in. You don't have to do them in your head. So if you have if you're given a decimal in your question, it's a good idea to give a decimal for your answer. So that is 0.15. D, the probability that I will win the race is 1 out of 6. So the probability that I will not win will be 1 minus 1/6. Okay, so again, we're going to leave our answer as a fraction because it was given a fraction, which is 5/6. So the probability that I will win is 1/6. The probability that I will not win is 5/6. So you can see how those adding together gives me a total of 1, the sum of my probabilities. Going on to question 3. A box contains 23 red, 15 blue, and 12 yellow marbles. find the probability that the next marble chosen will be. So they're choosing marbles out of a box. So let's add together here. We have 23 plus 15 plus 12. So altogether there are 50 marbles in this box. Okay, so what is the probability that the next one chosen will be red? Well, there is 23 red marbles, so that's the favourable outcomes, out of a total of 50. So 23 out of 50. Okay, so that's not really a complementary event, that's just a normal probability question, isn't it? So always check to see if that will simplify. You can always type them in your calculator. But there's no simplifying there, so that question's done. B, find the probability that it is not blue. Okay, so not blue, that's a complementary question. So that means we're going to need to do a 1 minus the probability that it's blue. There is 15 blue, so we have 15 out of 50. Okay, and we can type that in. 1 minus 15 out of 50. 7 out of 10. Now, of course, some of you out there, I can hear you saying, you could just, if you do not want blue, you could also just add the 23 red and the 12 yellow together, and you would get the same answer. But today we want to practice our complementary events, which is why I've done it this way. So next we want to find the probability that the marble drawn will be blue or yellow. Okay, that's not a complementary question. We want blue or yellow. So we add the blue and the yellow together, and that's a total of 27 marbles out of 50. And that's done. And we have a not yellow, so we can use our complementary formula here. We can do 1 minus the yellow ones. Yellow, there is 12 out of 50 chance of getting yellow, which will make, let's type it in, 1 minus 12 over 50 is 19 out of 25 chance of not getting yellow. Question 4. Jenna only receives 3 types of mail. She gets bills, junk mail, and letters. Find the probability that she does not get bills or junk mail today using the following probabilities. So, probability of getting bills is 7 out of 15, probability of junk mail is 5 out of 15, and probability of getting letters is 3 out of 15. So the probability that she does not get bills or junk mail, she does not get bills and she does not get junk mail. That means that she's only getting letters. And the probability of her getting just letters is 3 out of 15. So there's no calculation required there. You just need to understand what that is saying in the wording of the question. Okay, so on this next page here, I have some questions for you to try. Pause the video, try these questions and see if you can remember what we've learnt. Okay, question number 1. What is the complementary event of winning the lottery? All you have to do is write down not winning the lottery. Question 2, find the probability of the complementary event in each case. The probability that a hen lays an egg is 5 out of 7. So probability, how am I going to write this, of not laying an egg will be 1 minus the 5 over 7, which is 2 out of 7. The probability that I woke up after 7 a.m. is 45%. So the probability I do not wake up before 7 a.m. is going to be, and that's a percentage, so it's going to be 100 minus 45 will be 55%. Probability of having pizza for tea is 0.17. So probability of no pizza for tea is going to be 1 minus 0.17, which is 0.83. Alright, question 3. From a standard pack of playing cards, one is selected at random. Find the probability that the card selected is not a spade. Now, a little bit about cards. We know we have the 4 suits. We have hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. And in each of those suits, we have the numbers from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have those numbers. And then we have a jack, queen, king, and an ace. Okay, so there'll be all of those things for hearts, all of those things for diamonds, all for clubs, all for spades. Also, the hearts and the diamonds are red cards and the clubs and the spades are black. Okay, so knowing that, we want the probability that the card selected is not a spade. Now, there is the same amount of each of these things. So there's 4 different types of cards, 4 suits in the deck of cards. So to not have a spade, there's a 1 in 4 chance of having a spade. So not having a spade would be 1 minus the 1 out of 4, which is 3 out of 4. So not having a spade means having these 3 out of 4. Now we want to find the probability that the card selected is not a 7. Well, there's a 7 of hearts, 7 of diamonds, 7 of clubs, and 7 of... There is 4 7s in the pack of cards. 4 7s out of the total number of cards, which in a pack of cards there is 52 cards. So the probability of not... That's the probability of getting a 7. The probability of not getting the 7 will be 1 minus that, which is going to be 48 out of 52, which we can simplify to be a 12 out of 13. C, we want to find the probability that the card is not between 2 and 6. Well, let's find the probability that it is between 2 and 6. Between 2 and 6, not including the 2, would be 3, 4, and 5. So there's three numbers, but in each suit. So we'd go 3 times 4. There is 12 cards in the deck that are between 2 and 6. So that's 12 out of the 52. Okay? So for it not to be between the 2 and the 6, we would go 1 minus, let's type that whole thing in this time, 1 minus 12 over 52 is equal to 10 out of 13. And the last question says, find the probability that it is not a picture card. Well, let's find the probability that it is a picture card. Now, picture cards refer to the jack, the queen, and the king. So again, there is 3 jack, queen, and king. But for each suit, so 3 times 4 is 12. 12 cards out of 52 are picture cards. So for it to not be a picture card, we would go 1 minus, which is actually the same as our last question, 10 out of 13. Hopefully you got those answers. Okay, that's at the end of our lesson today. Please join me again next time for some more probability. Bye.